hello. Welcome.
Back to Young and Opinionated.
Please stare at the road. I'm scared.
The podcast that has taken the route on the road. We've taken this podcast on the road. I'm currently doing a right turn. Very scary, but we're very dedicated to this podcast, as you can tell. And we're not slacking behind. We don't have to record 4 of these because we haven't done them. We're so dedicated. We do these on the road. So we're back doing this on the road. We're going to get some pizza. What pizza are we getting?
We're getting Hungry Howie's pizza with pepperoni and ham and cheese.
Yeah, of course. So we're back. The world has changed a lot ever since we left. We have returned to a new world. We just can't stay silent forever. As public figures, we have to speak about this at one point.
Public figures.
What's your thoughts?
We're figures?
Yeah.
We're figures. That's my thoughts.
What's your thoughts on what's going on in Ukraine right now?
All
All this stuff that's going on. It's been almost 2 months. It feels like it's been 2 months since it happened. I'll let Carl speak first.
It's very sad. I don't like it. It's big sad. Russia is big bully. Poor little Ukraine's trying to stand up on its feet.
Yeah. I remember the day literally it was 11 p.m. or something here in Florida, and then I checked the news just on YouTube. And then the first thing that was trending on live was a report that Russia was invading Ukraine. And I was like, oh my God, this can't be happening. I couldn't believe it. Even though it was all said, it was pretty much predicted that was going to happen. Everybody knew it was going to happen eventually. I still couldn't believe it. It happened. I was in shock. I know that around the world, every day there's wars and famine and all this stuff. A lot is going on in the Middle East every day, but this is a big issue that involved a superpower like Russia, a real threat to the world essentially. And I just couldn't believe this is actually happening, because I never thought I would live to see something like this. And then immediately World War III thoughts started to come into mind.
I don't like how Russia's clearly the big bully here in this situation, and how they have a lot more than Ukraine, and yet they're still bullying Ukraine.
Yeah, and it literally makes no sense. There's no reason to be doing this. It's just Russia just wants to gain power and just, I don't know, it's just a big messed up thing. It's unbelievable. It's disgusting. It's just so sad. So many people have to leave that country. So many people are gonna die, are dying, have died. I'll admit that I'm not the best person to be praying and stuff, but I literally had to pray that night I learned about it, because I just couldn't believe it. Just pray for everybody. And that's literally all we could do. We're on the other side of the world. We can't do anything but just send our best wishes and our prayers. People criticize NATO and everybody in the United States for not doing anything, but doing something would literally lead to World War III. No, guaranteed. Yeah. World War III.
If anybody from the NATO pack, or if Russia even tried messing with anyone from the NATO pack, it would lead on to an all-out war.
NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, a bunch of European countries come together with the United States and Canada, pretty much just came together, made that organization, and essentially to surround the Soviet Union back in the day. But now it's Russia, and Russia doesn't like that. But there's reason to surround Russia, because they have so many nukes, so many weapons to destroy the planet multiple times. So many Russian soldiers are gonna die as well. A lot of people are gonna die all over the place. There's no winner at all in this. It's all just tragedy.
Honestly, I always felt that with war, even if a side wins, what really did they win?
A bunch of Ukrainian men have to be detained at the border to go fight the president of Ukraine himself. Probably one of the bravest leaders in the whole world. Any of our leaders would have left the country by now if that happened here, but he's literally right there fighting with his people for his country, which is unbelievable. I'm now going to go get this pizza. Carl will speak to you.
I will speak to you. Oh god, that's a long time to leave me speaking to a invisible audience that I know will listen at some point. Hi guys. I haven't really done a solo podcast like ever. I would look at his notes, but those are probably topics we're gonna both talk about. But yeah, like, war's not fun. Small wars, big wars, any wars, just it's not fun. It's no, just no. It's a lot of suffering, and it's all around horrible for the people involved, the people who don't want to be involved, and the people who are willing to be involved. When they say all is fair in love and war, I mean, is it? Is it really? Are you sure? Doesn't seem that way. Hello, other co-hosts of this here podcast.
Hey guys. So I just got the pizza. The argument that you said about not winning anything in a war, I feel like it can almost be like challenged. That can be challenged. I've always believed this, that the bravest people, there's two people that are the bravest people in all of history. One for another reason. The first one is all the people in the Bible that defied God. Those people are stupid, crazy, brave. Because to defy God is something just... I just don't comprehend that. Like, why would you do... Like the Pharaoh did with Moses. Just defying God's word is just so crazy, stupid, brave. Like, you have to be crazy. And the people who fought in World War II, who voluntarily said they're going to give their lives up for my tomorrow. They gave up their tomorrow for my today. So, yeah, those are the bravest people ever. To just voluntarily go to war knowing there's a very, very high chance they'll never see their loved ones again. They do it all just because they want a better tomorrow for us, for everybody. I'm very glad that I live here, and I'm pretty sure so many more people are, and a lot of Americans, we don't know like what it feels like in Ukraine because we've never been in that. The US has never been invaded itself since like 1812. We've never had a war on land on our soil apart from the Civil War. We've never had anything like this, so we just don't know the feeling. And yeah, that's the one perk we have of being so far away from Europe and everything. But I send my prayers with Ukraine. I hope everything goes. I hope everything can be settled somehow. It's so scary, and I never want to imagine that.
Bro, my respect goes out to the people of London during World War II. Especially during the bombing blitz. Like, those people, my respect. those people have what you call balls of steel, okay? They were living in underground train
stations
and subways, and they still smiled. They still were just chilling.
Let's switch up these topics and go back to something more not so sad. So our aunt came over a while ago, like a few weeks ago, and she presented an idea to my mom to let me and Carl go to Mexico to visit all our family, our grandparents, our uncles, our aunts, our cousins, just everybody, the dogs, anything.
The dogs?
Yeah, so...
You mean the birds?
Yeah, the birds. What do you think about that? You want to go to Mexico?
Yesn't. You see, there's a lot of reasons I want to go to Mexico, but then there's reasons I just don't want to be in Mexico.
As so what?
I want to see how it's like in Mexico. Obviously I want to meet my grandparents. You know, that would be nice. I'd like to meet my parrots.
Parrots.
my grandparents' parrots. I'd also like to visit some places that both of them have foretold, storied about. But then there's just there's some issues in there. Would not want to be there at that time.
I don't think I would want to go to Mexico as much as it would be nice to see my grandparents. I don't know if I'd want to go. I used to think about this, like I'd get a good vlog out of it, but in reality I don't think I really would, and I would be really terrified to be there because there is a lot of dangerous activities going on in Mexico, unfortunately. And as well, the food, I'm probably the pickiest eater ever in our entire family tree, and when grandma tries to offer me some beans and rice, I'm just gonna have to somehow break her heart and just deny it because I don't want to eat beans.
I'll take the rice.
I don't think I'd want to go to Mexico ever, sadly, unfortunately. I really would want to go to London, England. I'd want to visit all the places the Beatles were.
She proposed another idea, though.
What?
She proposed that we all go to New York.
We went to New York when I was 6 years old, and Carl was 2 years old, so I barely have any memory of New York.
I remember being there. I remember Mom holding me, and I got to see snow. I didn't touch it. I just saw it with my eyes, and then I cried.
I wish I had that memory that you have, because I just don't remember anything about New York. But we went and we spent some time there, but I just don't remember. And I'd like to go back and get a few videos, and make some great memories there and to remember. But I also want to go to California and Las Vegas. There's a lot of places I want to go. But
Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah, and I want to take my dad because he'd be funny just interacting with the people of Las Vegas or California. But there's a problem. He only goes by car, so I have to drive to Las Vegas and California and New York.
All three of them.
Because he's scared of planes.
She proposed a really good idea, though. We'd venture upwards, and then we'd pick her up in Washington, and we'd spend a day there too, just to be around there.
Yeah.
And then we'd go up to New York.
I'd much rather stay here in the States than leave the country to go to Mexico.
I am terrified of my own country.
Carl is on the phone with Mom right now. She's calling where we are because it's 11:42 and we just picked up our pizza. But apart from England, I don't think anyone else wants to go anywhere. I've heard Dad say he wants to go to China, but I doubt that he could ever make it to China. He would never make it to China, and he would never survive. My dad watches all these crazy Chinese movies, so he's pretty much formed in his brain that he's pretty much some part Chinese and that he would survive. So he really just wants to go to China now. My mom would love to go back to Mexico and see everybody, but as sad as it is, I don't think I would ever want to go to the place where my grandparents live. I'd much rather go to my dad's little town. His town is so funny because my dad has these crazy stories of growing up in the jungle, in literally the wild. He didn't have a home. He would wake up in the street and everything. It was so funny, and I just want to see that.
Bro, that's really another reason I'd love to go to Mexico, is to see his town. I've heard so many wondrous stories of it, and I say wondrous because I really like the wild, contrary to popular belief. And then to venture out there and to see where he grew up.
And apparently, someone says in Mexico he has a house there, or he has a little tiny little piece of land or something. And he always sings about he wants to go back one day and make a little house. And I'd like to go back, just make a crap little shed and just be we did it.
We've done it, guys.
And then come back.
Oh, imagine, because it's such a not that closed off and little town, but it is
it's very far away from a big major city. It's far away, and it's mountains out of the forest. It's crazy built. But
the community's it's not too tight, but it's loosely tight because there's nobody else there.
Yeah.
And just imagine they're oh, you're the kids of that drunk guy.
He survived?
He has a what? He has kids? Him?
Were you accidents?
How did this happen? Do you know him? Did he run away? Is he not with you anymore?
So yeah, that would be really fun, but apart from that, I'm not leaving this country. Alright, so thank you everybody for listening and everything. Thank you. So we're done here. This is the second half, we're done. And we're going to let you off with these words of wisdom. Here they are. To judge a man by his weakest link or deed is like judging the power of the ocean by one wave. Elvis Presley.
Oh my God.
This has been another episode of
Young and
Opinionated.
Woo!
We'll see you tomorrow.
Elvis Presley.
Woohoo! I said a hunkering love.
A hunking, bro?
I said a hunka burning love. I said a hunka burning love.
I said a hunka burning love. You cut off in the middle.